Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Celente, and it's Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. And you do Trends Journal. Yep, coming out soon. And here's the cover. Pop goes the Weasel. Yep. How many U.S. fighter jets does it take to bring down a weather balloon? I mean, think about it. I mean, these archaic jets to go take down a balloon. Are you going to stop hypersonic weapons? Oh, yeah, you're going to stop, thousands and thousands of drones coming in and missiles. Oh, yeah, sure we will. Can't stop a balloon. And again, the Chinese say it's a weather balloon. It's a Looney Tune balloon. I mean, what a joke. America's military loses. You're a bunch of losers. Keep stealing our dough. Half of America's budget, over half of the $1.7 trillion went to the military-industrial intelligence complex. And to use the word intelligence is an oxymoron. Over half of 1.7 trillion went to them. Yeah, the ones that keep the war machine going, that haven't won a war since World War II. Oh, and the Russians helped Americans win World War II. Those dirty Russians. Yep. Oh, and in the prostitute media, the media whores that keep selling war, the corporate pimps that get paid to put out by their government whore masters, corporate whores, I should say, that get paid by their corporate pimps and their government whore masters, all they do is sell war. Peace is banned. Peace is not allowed. But on February 19th, 2 Sundays from now, Rage Against the War Machine, an anti-war rally in Washington, D.C. That's right. And I'm going to be one of the speakers there. You go to rageagainstthewarmachine.com, rageagainstthewarmachine.com. The Libertarian Party and others are putting this on, and we're fighting for peace. Will the media cover it? Will the media whores cover it? Speaking of media whores, boys and girls, how about this? Again, Rage Against the Machine. February 19th at the Lincoln Memorial. This was an article last March. Can Putin be overthrown? This is by Holly Elliott from CNBC. If his reputation wasn't bad enough before Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine,
bullshit.
Wasn't unprovoked. They don't write about Holly. Hey, Holly, how come you didn't write about the Ukrainians killing over 15,000 people in the Donbass region? Huh? Unprovoked? Oh, violation of the Minsk Agreement of 2014 and 2015. The Minsk Agreement that Angela Merkel, the clown chancellor of Germany for all those years, said it was a fraud anyway, and they just did it so Ukraine could build up their military machine. NATO not moving 1 inch further, and there's 16 NATO countries when they said that, when the deal was made with Gorbachev and Bush Sr. and Ronald Reagan before then. And now there were 30 NATO countries, unprovoked. Goes on. President Vladimir Putin is now even more widely seen as unstable, unreliable, and untrustworthy. And that's the bullshit that all the American clowns swallowed. The little people that believe the bullshit of the COVID war, the same people swallowed that crap. Putin's out of his mind. Yeah, like fucking George Bush is one stray cat, huh? Oh, yeah, little Georgie Bush with a pair of balls smaller than a mothball and a dick about that big? Oh, yeah, sane as can be. How about bullshit Biden? Oh, no, but Putin's crazy. The article just keeps going on and on and on about that. And those are more generous descriptions of a leader who had ordered and overseen violent and destructive aggression towards Russia's smaller neighbor. Unlike America's wars of the smaller Iraq and Afghanistan and Libya and Yemen and Yugoslavia and Guatemala and Nicaragua and Chile. Oh, but you forgot those because you're a media whore. Boys and girls, not picking on you, sunshine. All of you. All of you. Hey, will you cover the rally in D.C.? No, because we only support war. We're the toilet paper record, the New York slime. That Saddam Hussein has those aluminum tubes. Yeah. Goes on. Oh, by the way, Putin's popularity rating in the last one was about 71%. But of course, wasn't bad. His reputation wasn't bad enough. I mean, this article is just totally disgusting. Specifically, many experts are asking whether the invasion of Ukraine, which had unintended consequences for Russia, leaving it on the verge of economic ruin. How about that for bullshit? It just goes on. One article after another of total bullshit. Yeah. I'm just saying this because the Trends Journal gives you the facts, the hard quality, in-depth trends analysis and trend forecasting that you won't find anywhere else in the world. We tell you what's going on, what it means, what's next, what to do. In-depth trends analysis and trend forecasting that these clowns could never do. Again, this is from the Daily Star, front page. World News. Vultures circling Putin as despot faces coup. When was that? Oh, that was December 17th. Happy New Year. Drudge Report. Year end. Putin alone doesn't know what to do. Or just day before that, the war is in a stalemate, Ukraine's intelligence chief says. Oh, you mean if their intelligence chief said so? And that's another oxymoron, intelligence? How about a bullshit artist? Russia has some 20% of the territory they didn't have before they invaded. Again, totally against the war, totally understand why it happened, all detailed in your Trends Journal when it used to be a quarterly, now it's a weekly, of the United States overthrow the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych, and on and on. Just giving you an example. This is from January 5th, Financial Times. The Ukraine war has gone completely wrong for Putin. A little clown boy wrote this. Who's this guy? Oh, Henry Fox. Henry Pussy. Putin loses it in tape meeting, January 11th, with Russian officials. Allison Quinn. Russian Vladimir Putin, afraid of coup, will retire in 2023. Jerusalem Post. This is from The Week, and another weakling, another little prostitute boy, Peter Weber. War. Germany will not block tanks. Can Putin survive? How about, hey, fuckface, how come you weren't saying this about little Georgie Bush's 20-year fucking war in Afghanistan, scumbag? Oh, you wouldn't say that about the Iraq war that Obama also kept going, the Nobel Peace Crap Prize winner? Oh, no. We're media whores. Get it straight, Celente. We get paid to put out. We bend over and take it up the ass. So you be a coward like us and sell war and hate because we get paid for it. We're little scumbags. We're the American media. Keeps going. Yahoo News. Oh, this is only February 3rd. Today's the 7th, 4 days ago. Putin inventing new type of military after Ukraine liquidated almost his entire army. Nobody's dying on the Ukraine side. No, no, no. Because, ready? Ukraine says Russia faced its deadliest day in the war yet, with over 1,000 troops killed in a 24-hour period. Oh, that's some Business Insight. You got to believe them. And how about the New York slime, the toilet paper record? All the shit that's fit to print. Russia's Ukraine war. As Russia amasses troops in East, questions remain about its ability to sustain an offensive. The Russians are defeating the Ukrainians. They're doing this so America keeps sending more wars, missiles, and tanks, and now they're talking about sending fighter planes. So that's what you got. And it's only getting worser and worser. And now to your Trends Journal, a lot about the Ukraine war. Pop goes the Weasel about China. And we have a special edition in this Trends Journal on the trends in geopolitics, Spotlight, War with China, Chinese spy balloon, Pop goes the Weasel. Ready to fight China? Think again. U.S. Navy barely stays afloat. Whole article on that. Retired NATO commander wins Czech's presidential election. Wastes no time to warn about EU's dangers with China. North Korea blames the U.S. for pushing tensions on the Korean Peninsula to an extreme red line. U.S. military chief visits South Korea to talk nuke war with China. That's Lloyd Austin, America's Secretary of Defense. Yeah, general in Iraq. How many people did you kill over there? Oh, and I left after Iraq. I got on the board of directors of Raytheon, the second largest defense contractor. That Lloyd Austin, who also went to the Philippines. The United States is now going to open 4 more bases in the Philippines. Yep, as it ramps up its war with China. And again, the whole issue here on the Ukraine war. Italy ramps up war with Russia, sending missiles, defense systems. Unelected European Commission becomes Europe's new muscle, sending more and more weapons and calling for more and more war. On and on. Putin says German Nazis are again at war with Russia. So here's what Putin is saying. Oh, now Germany's sending tanks and all these other weapons. The Germans that killed in Operation Barbarossa, only, what? The war ended 76 years ago and killed some 25 million Russians. And he was saying this in celebration of the victory in Stalingrad, that the Germans killed over 1 million Russians before the Russians beat them. And now they're sending out the bullshit that Ukraine is beating Russia. And again, I read the speech from President John F. Kennedy, who said over 20 million Russians were killed, and that they lost territory equal from Chicago east that was destroyed by the Germans. And now the Germans are at war again. And beyond that, on the trends on the economic and market front, you know, they talked about the increase in jobs. back last week, but actually 2.5 million jobs were lost. All the data is in your Trends Journal that you're barely finding anywhere else. So it's a lot of bullshit that they're delivering. And today, Bullshit Powell came out, and he gave a talk, and first the markets went up, then they went down, and then they closed way up. So the whole game is a game. And of course, the implications of higher interest rates, they don't talk about. How about all those variable rate loans that businesses have and the office building sector and the commercial real estate sector have? Oh, they have to pay more on their interest now. How about all those emerging market loans? Oh, they got to pay more on their interest now as the interest rates go up. How about the United States $31 trillion debt? Oh, now you got to pay more on that loan as the interest rates go up. So we have all the details there, trying to give you the best we can. But this whole thing is just it's a rigged market. But we have the details in here. Economy, wage growth, it was down. Isn't that great? And they're saying jobs and the economy is going up as sales are going down. And again, when the economy falls, jobs go with it. We got all the details. This is our 27th week of listing them. Credit card debt, $1 trillion. Oh, yeah, everybody's happy. Oh, taking money out of 401ks now because you can't afford to pay anything. That's and a lot more on the global economic front as well. And special articles by Joe Duran. And by the way, Joe Duran has a new book out. Oh, let me get this book over here. Wow, nothing like it. Nothing like it. Look at the size of this thing. You go, of course, to Amazon and the others. Dehuman. Essays on the degrowth, decarbon, and decrypto war on real human progress by Joe Duran, who writes for the Trends Journal. And he has a load of articles in here. And one of them is Creative Content Infringement of Deep Learning AI has monumental implications, plus many more. Guest articles by Phil Giraldi. You got to read this one. He's the former CIA guy that went into little Georgie Bush's office when Bushy was president. Little daddy's boy of nothing. That Georgie Bush, and gave him the documents proving that there were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and Georgie Bush told him to leave. Yeah, that Phil Giraldi, who quit the CIA, a real man. The article he writes is phenomenal. Another great one, The Chinese Spy Balloon Hoax by Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. And it was Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, former Assistant Treasury Secretary under Ronald Reagan, that wrote the article in this Trends Journal back in spring of 2014 about Washington is driving the world to final war. And that's an Anthony Freda piece of artwork. And this is about the Ukraine overthrow of the government. Articles also by John and Nisha Whitehead, Raging Bulls in Blue, The Deadly Tool of Warrior Policing on Steroids. Great articles. And Dr. Joseph Mercola, Pfizer admits directing the evolution of COVID-19 virus. And a home run winner by Gregory Mannarino in Trends in the Markets. The entire world financial system is on a knife edge. Much, much more. Trends Eye Views. Afraid of COVID will kill you? Microplastics found in vein tissues. You got to read this article. You have to read it. Plastics, it's the future. Yeah, that was The Graduate about 58 years ago. Yeah. and Trends in High-Tech Science by Ben Davis. Again, Trends Eye Views. We're giving you everything we can to help you prepare, prevail, and prosper in these times ahead. So go to trendsjournal.com, and a lot on the markets and where they're going and what's going to happen. And we've been spot on with it. You know, we were way off with this number of the employment data that came out. Yeah, and so is everybody else, because the thing is made up and all the details are in your Trends Journal, trendsjournal.com. And remember, 12:30, Sunday, February 19th, Washington, D.C., Rage Against the War Machine, an anti-war rally in Washington, D.C. And the website you go to find out more about it, rageagainstwar.com, and I'll be one of the speakers there. I'm honored that they asked me. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for Celente and the Judge Andrew Napolitano. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you then.
The Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
Over the last 30 years, Gerald Celente has been more accurate about predicting what would be happening than anyone else I'm aware of.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there. I mean, the amount of time that someone would have to do research on this to get into this subject matter at this level with all of this powerful information is incredible.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time, so please take a look at the Trends Journal.
Last year, you correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rate to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 35, then it could really drop.
Gerald Celente, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.